mission. I've been having this vision. Either rise or you fall. I'm on a mission, bringing my dreams to fruition. I ain't playing at all. Bring out the body bags. I'm about to kill them, deliver them to the mortician. I gotta do what I gotta do. That's what I'm facing. Making my things. I gotta do what I gotta do. I pray to God. He never came. I'ma do me. I'ma do me. That's in my blood. I never change. That's in my blood. I never change. That's in my blood. I never change.
You're watching the Corona Post Show, another big day of competition, just wrapping up day 2 here on a beautiful Friday evening. Gorgeous, but it's getting very cold quickly as the sun is going down. Got to see that swell really come to life today and saw some big barrels here at Super Tubos, and we completed 16 heats today. Real massive day and fun to watch. Joe Trappell, Strider Wazalewski, and Kaipo Guerrero. Strider, I told you it was going to be a big day. Wasn't just a stock, ordinary day. We had a lot of action.
Not the stock day. This was a big one. And you know what? 4 people went home.
4 people. A really tough day for the local wild cards as well today, Kaipo.
Yeah, and you know that's when you step onto the big stage, and you got to be ready for the game. And it's a look at you either win or you learn something. And I think the wild cards learned some lessons today. They're going to be more prepared next time they're on the big stage.
A lot of big stories coming up on the Corona Post Show. First, let's hear from the winner of the last heat. Ryan Callinan is with Louisa.
Hey guys, this guy here waited until the last minute of this long day to make sure he's going forward. Ryan, besides being cold, how does he feel?
Yeah, it's really good. I mean, it's so tricky out there, and obviously my heat earlier didn't really go to plan, but it was, you know, the wave here is so good, and if you can get in a good rhythm, it's always exciting, and I'm just happy to get a couple good waves and make a heat.
We were talking to your coach up there, and his heart was, you know, cut in middle because he didn't know exactly where to go, but he was like, I told them to go and to go hunting. And what were you looking for out there that is so, like, all over the place?
I mean, it changes so much here, so you kind of got to be onto it with what you're looking for, but there was definitely a few lefts that I had my eye on, and the barrels were kind of clampy, but there was the odd nugget, so definitely looking for that, and just something that had opportunity, just to give myself an opportunity to perform, and it felt good when I got a couple.
Got it. And you picked our own Stephanie Gilmore to be on your back, to surf her on this event. Tell us why.
Yeah, I picked Steph Gilmore. I think the way, you know, she's one of the best female surfers of all time, and just the way she's navigated her career and how much fun she seems like she's having all the time, and she's always got such grace and style, and it's just really inspirational for me and how I want to surf and how I want to compete, and yeah, I'm stoked to have her on my back.
Thank you so much. Go jump on that hot tub right there.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Back to you.
Obrigado, Louisa. Thank you so much. Ryan Callinan getting the big win, and I'm sure Richard Dog Marsh is proud of both of his athletes. They almost had the same combined total, finishing the top 2, avoiding third. We'll see them both into the round of 32. Great to see Ryan in this kind of form, missing Pipeline because of that wrist injury. He knew he had a very condensed season, especially in the first half, leading into the cut line.
Yeah, you know, it looks like he's still wearing a brace of some sort. I don't know if you have more info on that, but he's definitely looks like he's still a little bit hurt. Didn't look like it hindered him much. He was out there just belting it, getting, you know, great waves. So looking in form, though.
Yeah, even at sunset, he was telling us it's not 100%, but he can surf on it. So that was what he was happy. He wasn't ready at Pipe, but with the quick rehab, it got him in a position to compete.
And duck diving, obviously, that's a challenge. You know, with a hurt wrist, that's a big challenge. It just proves the fortitude of Ryan Callinan.
Well, diving into some big stories on the Corona Post Show. Always getting excited when you see a rivalry with some history. Opening round featured a couple surfers from Oahu. John Florence taking on Zeke Lau. Again, we're always going to hype that up. Ever since their heated bells, when they're in the water together, we know it's going to be fireworks. It lived up to the expectations today.
Yeah, 100%. You know, it was interesting to see them posturing in the locker room, you know, getting warmed up, getting out in the water. John, come on. I mean, just feeling the opener. Unbelievable. Just knack to get under the hood.
Hey, they both came out of this heat, and you know what? It just proves South Shore, North Shore, the whole island rips. So and this is the proof in the pudding right here. You know, as a proud island boy, I'm going to tell you right now, John Florence, Ezekiel Lau, I love the performance, and watch for them later on in this competition. They're going to be forces to be reckoned with.
What made it so entertaining was Zeke took the lead towards the end of that heat and forced John to get another score to get that official win. But Zeke looked incredible. Remember, he started off the heat with a big wipeout, and it took him about 10, 12 minutes before he really got himself back in the heat with that 7-ranger.
Yeah, that was my favorite part of the heat right here. He gets a little wave, gets a bowl, gets behind the curtain, comes out, goes to the air, tries to get back into it. Unfortunately, he can't, so the score would have been higher, but look at that right there. The posture, the feeling. You know, there's that beautiful rivalry, and then at the end of the heat, John does this, Kaipo.
8.5 for this one, combined with a 9.07. John Florence on fire as we expected. And again, I'm expecting more fireworks from John.
You gotta love back and forth battles. Zeke knew that he just took the lead with his 6.33, turns around and see John and make another tube. 8.5, 9.07, that's called an excellent heat. He's had more than 15 of those in his career here at Peniche, Portugal. Obviously a former champion. Zeke Lau advancing with him, and see how important it is to get those top 2 results in the opening round. Matthew McGillivray, you know, had to deal with the elimination round. A tough loss for him as he's already out of the contest with the 33rd.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. It hurts. Nobody wants it. And with the cut line coming up, it comes up faster and faster. I feel like, obviously, as you get down into the year, but it's a looming thing at the end there, and it's going to hurt. It's going to be a tough go for a lot of surfers, but they have the Challenger Series right next to it.
It's true. Challenger Series obviously is reformed in a new way, and that's where Zeke found his success. Just thinking about that heat, Kaipo, and how much Zeke has changed as a competitor. He's had to work extremely hard for the position that he is in today.
I think he's always had the talent. I think with Ezekiel Lau, what he's had to do is control his emotions. He's just a warrior, but having that emotional control, I think, is going to be the difference for the new Ezekiel Lau.
Exciting matchup there, but also we always want to focus on what the GOAT's doing. Elimination round, that's pretty scary. Nobody wanted to see Kelly go down that early after the season it's been for him in a short period of time. I think everyone relaxed when he opened up with a bomb to kick off that heat today.
That was, you know, you go with the flow. We heard, you know, Ryan Callinan talking about having to get into a flow with the ocean out there, and once you do in a rhythm, he said, all of a sudden, you know, things go your way. But this was his opener, literally within the first, I want to say 5 seconds of the heat, it felt like. Bango, right into the barrel, comes out, technical, biggest wave of the heat, I think. Also gets behind the curtain, spitting on him, coming through, disappears for a second, and then goes to the lip line. It was a vicious wave. That wave was big, heavy, and had a meaty section on it, Kaipo. And for it to come out like that, I love it.
I'm going to say 7.33. Come on now. Let's give us some numbers for the GOAT right there.
Connor O'Leary doing well to get barreled. I talked to Connor after this heat, and he was talking about the challenge of going right at this point of the tide and the day. He said it was incredibly challenging. Once Kelly opened with a bomb, he knew he had to be very scrappy and smart in that heat. Kelly got spit out of that one. He wasn't pulling the finishing moves, but it was incredibly challenging for big maneuvers at this part of the day. Kelly afterwards talked about a wave that came before they started his heat. He said it was like a 10, but he couldn't go because his heat hadn't begun yet. He was like, okay, this has got to be it. Thankfully, he had the 7.33 that he locked in, but he really wanted that first bomb. He was in the right spot at the right time, and he was really prepared to compete.
Yeah, well, just the you know, thought that he had to sit there and not take a perfect wave when he wants to. He's a surfer, right? All of us. But he knows in his mind, okay, if I take this wave, I'm going to be out of position for the start of my heat. And he's here to compete. He's here to win, and that just shows you.
Well, he's kind of had a mixed bag of results, Kaipo. When you think about it at Super Tubos, I mean, we always saw the drama when he get knocked out by a wild card and really sometimes challenging conditions, but he has the victory behind him. He has the final with Adriano. He's had really good success, but also some really big upsets. So that elimination round kind of had a lot of pressure on it.
I agree with you, and I think once he came through that elimination round, that's going to give him some momentum going through. I think he felt a little, you know, he was a little disappointed in the opening round that he had to surf, and he was very vocal about the fact that, hey, he didn't want to run that heat. He ran the heat. He didn't make it that heat. He got to go to the elimination round. And right now, I feel like Kelly Slater's been vindicated with that victory in the elimination round.
And he just gets more and more dangerous the better the ocean gets. The bigger it gets, the more barrels. Kelly's always going to be a threat to win at any stage, at any event. Always coming with big barrels. Here at Super Tubos comes the other side, the big wipeouts. And there certainly were some crazy wipeouts today. The best in the world are always going for 100%. And sometimes you just get caught up on a high line and take some donuts, Strider.
You know, the uneven playing surface out here, there's always a rib up the face, something going to catch your rail, and you're going to go flying. We saw a lot of neck tweaks. I'm calling chiropractic would be, and massage work right now. You could make a pretty penny from these surfers.
This place packs a punch, and remember how dangerous it is, but also when you're competing at a high level, you're not holding back. You'll put yourself in wild positions like that, Kaipo, all day long.
Oh, man, it is real out there. I'm telling you, there's brute force in the Atlantic, and there was some poundings, and not just the wipeouts, some of the paddle back outs were brutal, and this is heavy water. No two ways about it.
It's crazy when you see the best surfers in the world surfing a lineup like this. This is changing so radically, trying to get the deepest they can to get big exit range scores, and they're not afraid to go down swinging.
Oh, but they do go down, don't they? And you got to pay to play, though. Let me tell you, it's going to happen. Even the GOAT going so fast that he can't handle that oncoming section. Kelly Slater taking a dive.
There's nothing routine about those floaters at Super Tubos, no matter if it looks like a 3-foot section or like the left where he had basically a heaving 10-foot drop that he was trying to pull off. It's pretty radical. You got to know how to wipe out as well. There's been some serious injuries here in the past. These guys dealing with that under pressure to perform as well, Kaipo. Insane to watch.
It's good to see everyone push the boundaries, and the level of athleticism that these men display today is so impressive because there wasn't any jet ski assist. It's just you and the ocean, and I'm impressed by the entire field today.
Think about the waves we've kicked off the tour with. Pipeline, Sunset, coming here to Super Tubos. There has been a lot of power in the ocean, and you got to give it up to the best in the world for giving us a show like they do today.
Well, in Waves of Consequence, I think you're going to have what we just talked about, a show, entertainment. That's what we come for. That's what we want to see out of these guys. We want to see them pushing their limits so that we get excited and makes our job a lot easier because we're on the edge of our seats, and that's what the tour is all about. The best surfers and the best waves.
100%. Now comes to a fun part of the Corona Post Show. Everyone wants to be a part of the top 5 of the second day of the waiting period. Let's start off with number 5 on the list, a rookie on tour representing Australia. Callum Robson has been so impressive in this rookie class. We know that he likes big barrels. He absolutely charges. We saw that at Pipe and Sunset already this year, and he's keeping that theme as a fearless charger and a great tube rider. This is a 6.67 Strider.
I mean, he went out there and absolutely picked it apart. He didn't make every wave, but gosh, he looked so technically kind of perfect. He was making late drops. He was pulling up under the hood, making it look like it should. John saying, wow, this guy's got it.
Number 4 on the top 5, Ethan Ewing. Smooth operator, Kipes.
Oh, talk about technique, talk about style, and talk about composure. Remember, in this heat, Baron Mamiya had an early start, but Ethan Ewing, he came back and he just showed flawless technique out here at Super Tubos. Check this out.
Amazing work for Ewing. He was able to slide past Baron Mamiya for the win. Baron obviously still world number 1. Kelly Slater gets number 3 on the top 5. First wave of the elimination round.
Drops out of the sky, technical under the lip grab rail, stalls it down. He's got his hand on the face, just absolute perfect technique. He's done it for, 43 years? I think he started surfing when he was like 7 or maybe even longer, 44. Hey, that guy's amazing.
50 years of age. Number 2 on the top 5. San Clemente's Kolohe Andino in the elimination round. 7.93 for this frontside tube.
You know what? He said, it's a beach break conditions. I'm really comfortable at that, and Kolohe Andino showing it, threading it through some difficult water right there, coming out with the spit. rascally performance by Kolohe and Dino.
Great to see that. Number 1, it goes to John, a former champ out here, always providing magic when the bottom's dropping out.
I love it, the magic, man. You see how quickly he gets to his rail and kicks it under the hood like that? He does that at Pipeline, he does that at Backdoor, he does that out here at Super Tubos. I can't wait to see him do it at Chopu and G-Land and everywhere else. This guy is amazing when it comes to last-second heroics under the lip into the tube.
Seems like he has so many places where he can practice that technique on the North Shore of Oahu where he's ready to free fall at a moment's notice. It makes him so deadly at waves like this at Super Tubos. You can compare it to France and his win up there at Hossegger. When it gets very challenging and thick, that's when John shines.
Yeah, sure does. And you know what? The maturity that John has, the calmness that he's exuding, he's 100% healed. John, he's got to be one of your favorites when we look at 2022 and the tour.
And doesn't he seem to look like a cable right now? He's like kind of slimmed down, but he's so strong. It's unbelievable. He's
the elasticity you're noticing.
Surfing form.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, really looks better than he has, I think, ever. At the moment.
He's been so focused on studying fitness, recovery, and I feel like he's found the balance of getting very strong, but also being incredibly flexible as well. That's dangerous for the championship tour. We're going to say goodbye for now here from the Corona Post Show. Looking for a 7:30 start local time tomorrow on Saturday morning. Take care of yourselves. We'll see you then.
Day number 2 of the Male Pro Portugal presented by Rip Curl.
I'm excited to see what's going to happen today. Buckle your seatbelts. It's on.
The bigger the boom, the bigger the bang, the bigger the boom, the bigger the bang, the bigger the boom, the bigger
Oh,
the bang.
dropping.
You go, hey, he ho, make some noise,
Toledo,
boy, grab your
a
joys. I'm dropping the
training
party,
section.
boy. But of the big, but of the bang, party over here. Money's all up in the front.
Callum
money's all up in the rear,
Robson
because
threading
war.
through a
Village got the
backhand
shakes, you
barrel.
can't
Good
fake it.
job for the young
Village
Australian.
want Rex and sex. Village what I like, all right. Village want more, so the bigger the boom, the bigger the bang out. Rolling
Nice
the bigger the
left,
bang out.
disappearing, and exclamation mark.
Alakazam, I love the boom boom damn. I got the biggest and baddest, my joints are on point. So grab a grip and get gun, son, because money and guns are the big one.
Big wide open pit behind the takeoff of Frederico Moraes. Already spits once behind him.
Hit your G-spot, feel the flavor go. Gush, chicky bang, baby, we love you.
Pulling into a cave, it's Coyote Belly.
Cause the baby got back and she got it going on. Ain't up to no good all night.
Free falling into the pit. Florence standing tall. Party with John as he will pack this left. One big pump. It's staying wide open. Florence gets the exit.
The way that you work, what the good Lord gave you, it must be jelly cause jam shake like that. I said it must be jelly cause jam shake
through
like
this
that.
section,
It's the way you
disappears.
play, the things that you do, to let money know you wanna bang those boots because things like this should just be like that. Cause things like this should just be like that. But the riches and the
Chianca
stitches
coming
that
out
they
of a
go
barrel
with the
in a
LV
big
and the
way.
44 D cup. Ay, caramba. Baby got the Congos, the
Looks like we've got an opportunity for Colapinto. Backhand tube riding at its finest.
Did that, done it, doing it tomorrow.
Live action off the bat later on from Slater, parks it in the barrel backside.
Word the big word to mom and daddy back. Every time I whip out Jimmy, honey, say what you gonna do with that?
This copyrighted event broadcast is produced by the World Surf League for broadcast around the world and may not be retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise distributed or used in any form without the written consent of the World Surf League.